It is the riot. Hey, nice bunt.
We talk more about bun cakes.
Yeah, it's become a thing now.
And we have plenty in the break room if anybody wants any.
I'm going to get one right now.
Oh, are you?
Well, I mean, since we're done here.
Once we're done with the podcast intro.
Yeah, tomorrow's Radio U's birthday, and I can't have cake then, so I might as well have it now.
In this podcast, too.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. And hey, just so you know, tomorrow is our birthday, so reach out to us. Text 8772-RADIO-U, or
you can follow us at Radio U on Facebook. That's not our Riot birthday. We just celebrated our anniversary for the Riot, but this is our Radio U birthday, which is tomorrow.
Other things in the podcast. Let's see. Nikki watching Hoarders, the sunk cost fallacy again, AirPods 2, lots of Stranger Things 3 talk, charcoal water, honey ketchup, fruit juice in your IV.
Yes, it's a thing.
Also, and what is Bill Gates doing these days?
That's what we cover.
Little Bill Gates update for you. So you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Nikki and I will be
heading to the break room now.
So she can watch me bunt.
It's us walking over.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Awful, terrible, horrible, pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm gonna need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
The parade of health and wellness continues here at Radio U.
It does, doesn't it?
Fire up the band and get it started.
You're sneezing. You're coughing. Yay! Boom! Ba-boom!
Those aren't fireworks. Those are sneezes.
Oh, we're just having the best parade.
It's fantastic. I'm really excited about it. And I hear the best thing you can do is feed a cold sugar. So I noticed that there were still some bunt cakes in the
break room.
Yeah.
So you might as well add some to your diet today.
Yeah, it's a nationwide chain called Everything Bunt Cake. Isn't that what it is?
I think so.
Okay. I told Nikki yesterday that if I opened a bunt cake store, I think I would name it Stop Looking at My Bunt.
That might not work title-wise as smoothly, but
I think so?
I think it works. It's got some humor.
What if it was Stare at My Bunt?
That might work too,
okay.
Possibly.
Or just My Eyes Are Up Here.
That I know. See, they're not going to get it.
There's no bunt in there.
That doesn't show the cake part.
Yeah, but I had, what was that day?
Yeah, the red velvet.
Yeah. You remember what I ate yesterday?
I remember everything. That's not the weirdest. It's not the weirdest, guys. I have a very good memory.
No.
You're just saying that because it's red velvet cake. Like I was watching you, but I wasn't. I just remember.
Nikki's like, I wasn't watching the surveillance video again later. Slowly. It's fine.
It's not weird. I was just noticing, and I saw.
Remember what kind of cake?
How come that's hard? I can always do that. Fine.
No, you just taught us all something about you. Yeah, like, what shirt was I wearing yesterday? Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Well, your eyes, your bunt cake's up there. I'm not supposed to look up there. No, you're wearing your.
Hey, Nikki. Stop staring at my bunt.
Your bunt. See? Okay, that is the best name for the place I think we've ended up at.
Just stop it.
But yeah, they're opening up one near us, and so they dropped off some boxes of them. So you can have another one of whatever flavor you want, and I'm not going to notice because I'll be in here.
I'm embarrassed now. I'm going to have to go
watch.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go in, lock the door.
Why don't you try the chocolate one, though? Just if you're going to pick.
Tell me about it.
So you think, is your cold progressing, or are you fine, or?
I don't know, whatever.
Okay. That's what I really wanted to hear.
The truth. I listened back to the show yesterday, and I heard a couple of moments where I was like, you know what, I've got a cold. I can hear it. And it's not the tone of voice. It's the words of choice.
It's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was, but I get this high-pitched yelling sound where I was just like, oh, yeah, yep. Don't even know it's happening, but that's what that is.
Yay! Again, we're the parade of health here at Radio U. And it has nothing to do with all the sugar that gets come in.
No. Also, want to say hi to Jared, who just texted in and said he should make it stop. Wait, where is it? Does this make my bunt look big?
I don't know if it works as
a lot of words.
Store name. That might be the store name slogan.
I like that.
So it could be.
How about won't make your bunt look big?
Could be.
Okay.
Like, we'll just text
listen,
your
we're
ideas.
Workshopping it right
I know,
now.
it's not going to be the first one. It's not going to be the first one.
They say the third one is usually the best choice.
Is it?
That's
we're
what
one
I
from
heard.
it.
So we're almost there.
The Riot spent their entire advertising and promotion budget on catering and craft services.
The junk that guy eats has finally caught up with me.
So please tell your friends. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Right here in the studio, Nikki just turns to me and goes, "Did you see the Stranger Things trailer?"
I wanted to know if you watched it yesterday.
I absolutely did.
It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty great.
That was
Launches
the
on
first
July
one with
4th.
footage, right?
No, there was a little tiny bit because they did that whole thing of like, come to the whatever mall. And
that one, all right. Yes, you're right.
And it had the one guy in it, who's the boyfriend from the first season who
It's
turned
not
into
Steve,
the baby.
is it?
It is Steve.
Steve, okay.
Steve has turned into just about my favorite thing in Stranger Things.
I loved at the end. He's like, how many kid friends? That was great.
How many children are you friends with?
Yeah, that was awesome.
I don't know. What I think is funny is like Steve in the first season, you're like, this guy's the biggest jerk ever. So they do a total like off character turn. He turns into this really nice guy, and then he turns into this nice guy that looks out for the kids, and you're just like,
never saw it coming.
Hey, listen, this guy's not boyfriend material. He's marriage material, okay? Come on, ladies. He's got great hair. He's not a jerk. He likes the kids. This is the marrying kind.
This is the perfect guy. He is.
And he's got a job working down at the hot dog place at the mall. It's perfect. Who is this guy?
I think he's a favorite character of most people.
It does look good, though. Like, I want to know, like, what are we in for? What's happening?
It always makes me just excited to have a new show, not a new show, but, like a new season coming out of something. And I miss that when that happens.
Because Netflix cancels everything now. So...
Not officially.
We don't know what it's like to have a new season of anything because we can't have nice things.
Well, and it's kind of like back to when Stranger Things first came out, and it was a surprise hit for everybody.
Dude.
So that's kind of what you're dealing with Netflix. You might not know you're going to end up loving this show, but there's not like some big show coming back that, at least for most people, you're guaranteed to probably enjoy the season of Stranger Things.
It would have to be pretty bad
to be bad
for it to be bad.
Yeah, to be disappointed in it.
Yeah, the original Stranger Things might be my favorite binge watch movie or binge watch like memory of all time. It was that thing where I really didn't know what it was about, started it up, and immediately was like, wait, and within 12 hours, I had seen all 8 episodes.
You were done.
So good, man.
So it'll be the third season, and it's the 4th of July.
Yeah, which is, hey, you know what? God bless America. We'll just keep doing this health parade. Wrong one. Health parade.
You had one thing there. One thing to click.
You know what? This is a discussion for a whole other time, but I'm not a good clicker.
You're not?
No. I frequently will go
Misclick?
Yes, all the time. All the time. I'm like, I just have to click this thing and I open the wrong thing. That happens
all the time.
I wish people were around to see it, but I'm kind of glad they're not. But I'm always misclicking. It's the worst.
Oh, we were a part of it right there.
Yep. So glad you guys were here for the misclick. Stranger Things 3, 4th of July.
We all watched the trailer.
Woo!
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Many of you decided to jump in on the bunt cake discussion.
We had something earlier.
So Jared said, does this make my bunt look big?
If we were to name a
bunt cake store.
Yes, like a store, and because one brought us some, and we were thinking, what would be another name?
Trey has, I like big bunts. And I cannot lie. Which I cannot lie, I feel like would be the tagline.
I feel like we might have copyright problems with that, but I'm not sure. Someone might sue us later.
You change one word, you're fine.
Are you good?
Micah says, we got big bunts. And Annie says, get your hands on my bunt. I like that one, kind of.
That one works, and I do appreciate you guys taking the time to actually keep sending those in.
Yeah, no, but we'll be here all day.
I know, we'll still keep getting all of these names.
So, Nikki, what is this about a new pair of AirPods?
I didn't look at all the details, and I'm not as in the loop as I used to be, but they've quietly launched from Apple the updated AirPods. So they're $160.
How much were the last pair?
I don't know. I don't remember. You don't question things.
When it's Apple, I don't ask.
My gosh.
They have my card on file.
Do you look at the price when you check out when you're buying AirPods?
Everything.
Because you're not supposed to.
I'm a cheapskate.
You're not supposed to question it. But it's got the hands-free Hey Siri support, longer battery life, and a wireless charging case. Which is nice because I had seen a review of a case you could put on your case, which would make it wirelessly charging.
Whoa.
I know.
A case you can
meta.
put on your case?
It's a case.
It's a case for the case?
It's eating itself.
What?
And I thought, well, that looks nice and it was pretty cheap, but now this new one's just built into it.
Okay. So $160. It has the new H1 chip.
Woo!
For better battery life and connectivity.
So these are supposed to be available starting today. Yeah, they're today, and they'll be out in stores, though, I think, next week. So it depends if you buy it online or if you're at the store.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You going to get them?
I washed mine not too long ago.
Oh, here we go.
And the battery life has not been as stellar since it went through the wash.
Here we go.
So that might be a next major holiday.
You know what, Nikki? You haven't shown your mom and I that you're responsible enough to own a pair of AirPods if you're throwing them in the wash.
I didn't mean to, and I didn't wash the case. I just washed the AirPods, the buds themselves.
So I don't think maybe
I'm able to get one
grown
yet.
up enough for a second pair of AirPods.
They're still fine, but like I said, the battery is showing its wear and tear with it.
Mm-hmm. So you could order them now. They'll be here next week.
Mm-hmm. I could do that.
A little upgrade for you.
I could do that. No one would have to know.
I don't have to know.
No one has to know. I don't have to tell anybody.
I don't have to know.
I don't have to bring you guys all into that. I just have a new pair.
They just show up.
All right, fine. I'll just mark that for later.
You're getting them.
Well, I will eventually. Absolutely.
Nikki, you don't like very many things. You don't get very many things for yourself.
I don't buy as much. No, I don't.
You don't.
I don't spend money on clothes or anything else. I buy a few movies here and there, but that's about the extent of it.
You deserve it.
I do. Thank you. Thank you so much, Obi. It means a lot to have your support.
You deserve it.
Thanks.
You should get it.
And if everybody agrees with Obi, then that'll make me feel better. Mm-hmm. And then I'm actually doing this for you guys.
So
not for myself.
She'll be able to tell you if they're good.
It's for
the
work.
show.
It's for the show.
It's for the show.
So that's, again, the new AirPods, which the details on that have been released.
Your selflessness is above question.
I'm always trying to do
Beyond
stuff
reproach.
And it's hard, but I'm always trying to do stuff that makes you guys happy the most. And I'm glad that this will count as that.
Man, my heart was strangely warmed. It's amazing.
So it's your ears when you put the earpods in?
Yeah, I think they're overheating, but it's fine.
No, they don't do that, thank goodness.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word. Consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. Radio U.
Are you guys familiar with the sunk cost fallacy? The sunk cost fallacy means basically it's what pulls a lot of people into gambling or into buying extra trim packages on cars or whatever. You're like, you know what? I've spent this much money. I might as well go all the way and spend the rest of the money and get the rest of whatever.
To get everything that's being offered.
But they call it the sunk cost fallacy because a lot of times you're making a really poor choice just because you spent so much money. And it would actually be cheaper to just go ahead and get out. But I bring you the sunk cost fallacy in the context of the new Oculus Rift headset. It's called the Oculus Rift S. It launches later this year. They announced it. And so, Nikki, now I really do have to make a choice.
Yeah.
I either take my old Oculus gear and try to sell it, which I could do, or I just get out.
Of the Oculus altogether, and you don't buy, so you're not interested in buying the new one?
I kind of am, actually.
I think no matter what, you got to sell your old one before that even comes close to coming out.
I probably should have sold it 3 days ago before the announcement.
Yes, but you could still get in on someone not knowing it.
Right.
So I think you need to.
The thing I was thinking is I would, just as a bonus, throw in a pair of wireless headphones that I have. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I could get within spitting distance of the new one and be like,
I think you should do that. Save it for when the new one comes out and then either use it on that, or if you don't want to, you at least got out while you could for more money.
Right. Okay. So maybe I'll do that this weekend.
I think you have to.
No, I don't like words like have to.
No, I just don't want you to forget about doing it.
Yeah.
Remind yourself. Do something.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and just start posting it, and then, but you know what happens now? Then you have to start dealing with stuff where people are like, I don't.
They're gonna barter, and they're gonna beg, and they're gonna make you feel bad. Which is why you have to start. It's going to take weeks.
Just have to get it over with.
Yeah, you got to find the right person. Whenever you sell online, it's just a mess. That's why no one wants to do it, but you have to.
Let's see. Jared says sell. So.
Yes, thank you, Jared.
Hey, anybody want to buy an Oculus?
Two of us have said it.
Okay, so now the question comes down to not eBay, maybe...
I'd do Facebook or Craigslist.
Facebook and Craigslist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whichever gets you the least amount of abuse is good.
Facebook, typically, I've actually had... That has been the best.
Facebook Marketplace?
Yes. I feel like I have done so much better on Facebook Marketplace
I agree.
than I did on Craigslist.
And I don't know if it's because people can see profiles and stuff. Like there's something you can actually see from the person when you're dealing with them that keeps people at least on a little bit nicer level than Craigslist.
Jared says no, sell and get out.
Okay, well, he's marked on that.
You know what? There's some fairness to that. Like, there's a little fairness to that. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, bundle something together.
Oh, I've got a bundle.
And put that up this weekend.
Make no mistake. There's a bundle.
You could be learning jiu-jitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with moving back in with your parents. It's a thing, whether we want to call it economic necessity or whatever. Man, I'd move back in with my mom right now, but she got a smaller place, and so it's not going to work.
There's actually nothing wrong with it as long as you're not like you know the changes. You understand the changes that have happened.
You mean in your body?
No, like it's not the same as before you left the first time.
What? Okay, this is interesting. This is not where I was going at all. But I want to know, Nikki, from your perspective.
Well, you remember like
what are the changes?
Like remember the Lego guy from like a couple of years who like wouldn't leave?
That was just last year.
Oh, was it last year?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't like help out with his parents. So like if you've moved out and then you've moved back in, you do need to help out.
You're saying, okay.
It's
so
not like
you mean financially?
Financially, and just also like if you can't financially and your parents understand that, you need to help out around the house.
Like do the dishes.
Yeah.
Take out the trash.
Yeah, things like that, where you're perfectly capable doing that.
Yeah.
Whereas you maybe didn't before you moved out the first time.
So you're saying that you become a contributing member of the household, whereas before you were mostly a leech.
And we have to drop the attitudes, like, which we all get. It's just, it happens. It happens. You have that. It's their house. It's a different dynamic.
So
but
you let them know where you're going, not because you have to, but because that's a polite way to live with someone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's hard with roommates. It's even harder if the roommates are your parents. But deep down, they still own everything.
I feel like there are lots of healthy examples of people that have moved back in with their parents that we could look to, but they never make the news, Nikki.
You never hear about those because it's just fine.
You never hear about those because they're not writing stories on that. But then you end up in Olmsted County, Minnesota. And in this particular place, there was a man, he's 38. He's moved back in with mom and dad. He was practicing a little something that we call day drinking.
Which might have led to him coming back to the house in the first place.
Day drinking is when you wake up and the sun's still up and you're imbibing alcohol. Mm-hmm. And so he started real early.
He's an early day drinker?
Mm-hmm. And his mom told him, I can't quite get what it was that they were fighting about, but I do know this, that he didn't want his mom to leave, probably because he loved her so much.
Well, yeah.
And so he laid down in the driveway and said, just run me over.
Well, I mean, he said it.
So she did.
She did?
Yes, she did.
That was the last straw. I want to show you. That's that lady's last straw.
Oh, okay. I see what it is now. The mom, I was getting it backwards. She refused to take him wherever it was he wanted to go. She refused to take him.
Remember when I said drop the attitude and just cut your parents some slack? They're not doing everything for you.
Why don't you just run me over? Okay. So they ended up...
That was like the one lady who moved back in, or she was always there. I don't know if she ever moved out, but didn't she do something to her mom because she wouldn't take her to the yoga class?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Did she stab her? Or?
Beat her or something? I don't know.
Oh, she threw her phone. Or
That's
did she
what
hit
it
her with
was.
her phone?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Good call, Nikki. Good call.
These are popping up more often.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's the kid assaulting the parent, which kind of makes sense to me, like, in its own sick way, not in a good way. You understand? But I just love the idea of a fed up parent that was just like, you know what? If you're not dumb enough or smart enough to
move
get
out of the
way of the moving car, I can't be held responsible. So her husband, the stepdad, called the police, not the police, but the ambulance. And when they showed up, she ended up getting charged, by the way. With what charges did she get? Something, blah, 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 malicious intent. I don't know.
It'll never stand.
Probably not. The judge will just be like, you know what?
And he's how old is he?
It's cool.
You're more than welcome to drive over him again.
It's cool.
Not
Don't worry
killing
about
him,
it.
but just
I think being
him.
run over by a car is like,
Not
that's
if it was
terrifying.
your leg. You're like a foot or something.
Can I be clear? You're anything.
You're anything.
You're anything. If a car ran over your foot, it would hurt. Maybe you get a fracture, but there's also a good chance that
You've learned your lesson.
I mean, your feet are used to distributing weight out, so it's not really, but kind of built for that. But like running over your knee, I don't ever want to be a part of that.
She shouldn't injure something that then asks him to go and like walk away and go get a job or something.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you don't want to hurt anything important.
I didn't even think
Because
about
then
that.
you're
You know what's
really
gonna happen
hurting your
now?
own self.
After he has surgery, he's coming
He's
home.
coming home for a long time, so better to be safe. You got to be aware of these things.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
So, Nikki, speaking of the need to move out, I want you to tell me, you bought the Hoarders season that was for sale on Amazon, right?
I haven't watched one of the episodes yet.
Whoa.
Which is a shame. I keep getting notification. I think I'm 3 in for Hoarders, which is this show on, is it A&E?
I don't know.
Maybe, but Obi found me a deal where it was like 99 cents for the whole season.
It is on A&E.
For the new season, but I haven't seen it yet.
So the team behind Hoarders, which is on their 10th season, by the way, say that episode 3 contains the most disturbing hoard they've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, now, just like any good teaser, they're not saying what it is, but they...
We can watch. I think I have it.
We can pull it up and find out what it is. But she was buried alive, living in filth.
Aww.
They said they shoveled out piles of trash, old fishing nets, junk everywhere, and they found a huge, giant hook protruding from a wall.
Really?
So we don't know what's on the hook.
Oh.
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
And she also got to a point where they don't know if it was her or the dog, but, you know, sometimes you just
go to the bathroom around the house.
Go where you can.
Yeah, I've seen episodes where it's actually both, so it could be both.
Wow. Are you going to watch it? Okay.
I need to.
I'll tell you what would actually be way better than Hoarders. Like the show. Eric has alluded to this, and I think it's a fantastic idea. He wants to do it with real estate listings, but I think for Hoarders, if we would just have a Nikki cam where you watch Nikki watching Hoarders, I'll bet you I would come over and watch it with you because I'll bet that's a blast.
I have a very hard time when it comes to hoarding shows or like untidy shows. And it's not like I'm compulsive or anything with it. I'm not. But it just emotionally.
That's what I would expect you to say.
No, it emotionally is very upsetting to see people that have just lost control of it all. You want to go help them, but you can't. And it's very hard for me to sit still with that.
Nikki reacts very kinetically, very strong physical.
Oh, it's hard.
Shaking, screaming.
No, it's the same like when someone doesn't pick the house I think would be the best fit for them on one of the House Hunter shows. You're like, why did you go with that? I don't understand.
That's not a good choice.
Now, I know some of it's editing and
Sure.
it makes it seem like it's one way, and it's just hard to watch. It's very hard. And sometimes you drive past people's houses and you're like, I know that they hoard too.
There's this one house that's like a mile from the IKEA that we drive by every time, and Nikki's like, I know that's a
Well, you can tell like the windows you can't even see in anymore because there's just stuff piled up, and it's outside the house as well, and you just want to go and help them, but you can't.
I knew a hoarder. It is shocking.
It's hard.
It is shocking, and what's even more shocking is if you try to talk to them about it, they're like, "What?
What problem?
What are you talking about? Like, we might need this stuff." You know, I helped them unload a TV one time. They went and bought a TV, $1,800, or that might be too much, but it was like some whatever. I helped them load it up, put it in their garage. Came over 4 months later. The box for the TV, which never went in the house, by the way, was in the back, and it was just buried.
Just still there?
I saw the box peeking out, and I was like, wait a minute. Is that the box that you called me on a Friday night?
You had to go get?
Oh, I had to come over at like 11 o'clock because the store was closing and and there it is? Yeah, okay. Don't call me again.
Don't do anything like that.
I didn't say exactly that, but it was hard to watch.
I know, it is hard.
Yeah, so Nikki, I want to hear your take on it.
Maybe this weekend I'll catch up on it.
Yeah, so make sure you got a bucket with you, just in case it gets real.
No, it's not like that. I get really sad.
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's The Riot on Radio U.
What do you got?
Well, I don't know, Nikki. We have a box here.
What's in the box? Not in that way, like
box?
from the movie.
Well,
but
we don't know.
Someone sent us something, maybe a Riot food fight item. Yes, that's what you think.
I don't know. Okay.
We need to find the scissors that used to be in this room. Now we have a screwdriver.
Yeah. You know what? I remember John actually emailing us about this. This is sweetened with honey ketchup.
Oh, it's the Heinz ketchup for you. Because Obi mentioned one day we should do a ketchup taste test, and he saw that at the store, and he messaged us a picture of it.
Dude, he sure did.
Thank you, John. That came fast.
Dear Obadiah and Nikki, I saw this at Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Oh, you know what that means? It didn't do well.
If it made it there?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. But you know what? It's still... Oh, yeah, it's still good.
Still good.
We're not past the date yet. He says, I thought of Obadiah and his love for Heinz ketchup, which, just to be clear, it's the best. Heinz ketchup is the best. Don't bring your Hunt's noise or, it's not any catsup. Oh, God.
But see, the drama started one day when I told him, ketchup's just ketchup, though, when you get down to it. And he does not agree with that.
It is not.
So someone brought up we should do a Riot Food Fight, like a ketchup edition.
Yeah, so John sent us some sweetened with honey ketchup. Dude, you know what?
Try
this
it,
means?
just a little,
nope.
little something, something.
Nope. I'll tell you what this is for.
What is that for?
We got to get over to Chick-fil-A again and get some... what kind of potatoes did we get from them?
The hash browns.
Maybe we should go over the White Castle. They've got the doubloons. You love a doubloon.
Well, normally I call the doubloons the Burger King hash browns. Those are the little coins.
So we can't call
but it is. That does work also at the White Castle one for their breakfast.
I just feel like you just right there build a little, turret.
No, I'm just saying the king normally has his money, and so he gets the doubloons.
Nikki, King has his reign, and then he dies.
Well, does he live in the White Castle? So it's very Game of Thrones.
Maybe he does. The White Throne?
Yes, but where the White Castle is.
Dude, I think White Castle sounds like a spectacular idea.
Well, thank you, John, again, for being so kind, thinking about us when you see something and sending it to us.
It's reduced sugar, but it has honey in it.
I wonder if it is in... You might notice the formula difference.
I'll probably notice.
But I wonder if it's sweeter or just how it works out.
I don't know. And, at the end of the day, when your body processes it,
it's all the same
still
anyways.
Going to be sugar.
Just taste-wise, will you notice if someone switched?
There are pros and cons to everything in life, except for the riot. Here, it's no pros and all. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I don't know what's going on, but Nikki just looked at me and said, do you want to try black?
You want to try some juice? Yay! I've been having celery juice. Well, now there's a new juice place close by, and they have other juices too.
And what exactly? Black is not a thing.
No, this is like the label
is
of it.
Is it blackberry?
No, it's got charcoal in it. So it's got filtered water, activated charcoal, organic lemons, and maple syrup.
Well, I do love maple syrup.
And don't you love charcoal?
But I can tell you right now that that maple syrup is there to cover up all the sins that are being committed in the rest of the drink.
I was a bit worried because with this, they always show what's it potentially, they don't want to legally say what will it do, but it could possibly, and it's the ultimate detoxifier. So it's not just a detoxifier, it's the ultimate one.
You guys did not just see how far my eyes rolled back. It looked like I was having a seizure.
It can help you with a sharp mind, teeth whitening.
No, gosh.
And alleviates bloating. Who wants bloating alleviated?
So in other words, do you guys know what alleviates bloating means? It means makes you pee. it is a diuretic. I could give you
detoxifier.
There's a pill you could take that would trick you into thinking that you're detoxing. But you know what's doing the detoxing? Not the juice, your kidneys, because that's what they're designed to do.
Yes, with the charcoal, the activated organic charcoal.
Water, your body is detoxing all the time.
I am feeling some resistance when it comes to the juicing.
Because, Nikki, it's a scam.
It's also very expensive. But most of them taste really good, though.
Someone took a piece of coal, soaked it in water, added some maple syrup, and then sold it to you for 8 times what it was worth.
I don't know if I'll get this one again. I haven't tried it yet. I just got
Come on,
one.
bring it over.
You want to try a little bit?
Sure. I got a
mostly
empty cup here.
I'm going to retighten the lid so we're not like passing it across the very expensive board.
It's clean juice.
Yeah, it's clean.
It's black. You know what? Like, this is so absurd. Like, if this was water that came out of a faucet, you would be like,
you'd be fighting back.
Get it out of here. It's filthy.
But I'm paying money for it. What if it's good, though?
I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
No, I won't.
Okay? But I hope you die first. So that way I can just be like, ha ha!
None of it
didn't work!
Well, I don't know what to say to that.
I feel like when I listen back to the show later, I'll be
You'll
like,
be disappointed
that was
in that
a little
one.
harsh.
Like,
that was a little hard on
you can really
Nikki.
smell the lemons. They put a lot of that to
Do
cover
you know
up the
why
charcoal.
they put the lemons in there? Yeah.
Tastes like
lemonade.
Tastes like lemonade.
Oh, it'll get you on the back end. Wait for it.
There's the maple syrup. That's maple syrup at the end, isn't it? That is. And the charcoal. But it's the maple syrup. They're really trying to cover the in and in the out with making sure you don't taste what else they put in there.
Nikki, oh my gosh.
I'll drink it. It's not bad.
Her mom brought her the other day. What was it? The whatever juice. And she's just sitting like, ew.
It was sharp. You know why? It had, when they put ginger and stuff, you really taste the ginger.
Now that's some real talk. I had a ginger carrot soup one time that made me wish I wasn't alive anymore.
But it's good for you. Ginger's really good for you. And turmeric and stuff.
Is it?
It's supposed to be.
That's what somebody says.
That's the same person telling me the charcoal is.
How can we, all right, like, we need some science. The thing, I guarantee you at the bottom of that bottle, there will be something that says not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration.
That's why they say benefits may include.
May include.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is we should do some real science here. Let's test it and figure out, Nikki.
Well, you want to check at the end of the show to see how your bloating's going?
Yes.
Okay.
How bloated am I after the show?
Let's see if it helps.
Do you feel
out.
And I want to know how my skin looks.
And your teeth.
Is it ruddy?
It's supposed to help
Is
with
my teeth
whitening.
whiter?
No, we just try whatever. We're all throwing darts at the dartboard of life, and we're all just trying to see what sticks.
And then all of a sudden a train derails, and then that's
ruins it all.
That's it. Like, who knows, right? I don't know. In fairness, I'm at home drinking apple cider vinegar. Who am I to throw stones?
True.
Who am I to throw charcoal?
It's one big juice house, isn't it?
It's all one big scam.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the Radio U app.
Boy, you do a little charcoal mentioning. I feel amazing right now.
You look good.
I feel so good.
No, I was sharing with Obi one of my, I got a new juice company that was nearby, and so I got one of their ones that has activated charcoal in it, and organic lemons and organic maple syrup.
Carl says charcoal should be saved for burgers. All right. Okay.
That works.
Aaron says that I've read that charcoal can cause things in your plumbing to back up.
Well, it is supposed to be the ultimate detoxifier, so I think that falls under that category.
So I've been doing some reading on activated charcoal, and here's the idea. It's a binding agent. So what it does is that it has a tendency to go through your system and suck things up a bit.
Like all the bad things in your system, or... Anything?
Yeah, so it's not just bad things, it's anything. So one of the things that I'm reading...
it's not going to take like an organ with it, but...
Well, no, but like things that are in your digestive tract, it will grab.
What if it's only bad stuff besides it that you're putting in there?
Well, like one of the things that I'm reading this article here, from all the places BuzzFeed, they sat down with a nutritionist to talk about activated charcoal, and this particular nutritionist says, make sure, because it's absorbent, make sure that if you have medication that you are taking, do not drink it before 2 hours before or 2 hours after. You have to wait at
because it might
least 2
absorb
hours.
what you just were taking. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, so that's something. And just to be clear, that would include your vitamins. So if you had took a bunch of vitamins with your activated charcoal, they might be canceling each other out. But there you go. Melissa says, I hate to break it to you, but charcoal is given to people to induce vomiting.
All right. Well, not this one. They're not giving them this shot.
Oh, Nikki.
They're not doing that.
Oh, Nikki.
That must be the stronger stuff.
I want to see Nikki. I've always wanted to see Nikki throw up.
One day you'll get it.
It's the second weird thing I've said in 5 minutes. But that's because...
That's your biggest dream.
Yeah, because Nikki talks about throwing up, and she says she stomps her foot and goes, come on!
No, I haven't thrown up in a while, but when I do, I get real nervous, like you'll never stop. Does anybody else have that panicky feeling during it? Like this is how life's going to be. You're going to throw up for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life, you're going to be throwing up.
Got to go to the hospital. They're like, why won't she stop? And I always have that big fear about it. And I don't like throwing up into the toilet. That makes me, I feel like, want to throw up more. So I will throw up like in a sink or something.
Now,
but it
do you
doesn't
make sure
happen
that
too
you
much.
throw up on the side that has the... Do you run the garbage disposal after you throw up?
No, like a bathroom sink. Just anywhere. Not the toilet, though. I
Nikki,
just can't.
Don't throw up into the bathroom sink.
Why?
It's not designed to handle chunks.
No!
It's not.
No, it's not.
I know. That's what I'm telling you right
but
now.
It's not. That's not what happens.
You know, like you have that little, like the thing
The
that
stopper?
raises the stopper up and down.
Pull the
Chunks can
stopper.
get stuck
Stop
on the stopper.
Okay, now we're moving on to something else.
They can.
I know, but now we're not talking about that anymore.
You got to go to the kitchen and turn on the incinerator. You got to make sure that stuff gets thinned out before it goes down the line.
Yeah, because you could have some issues later.
You know what? You need to pour some charcoal in there. Get that absorbed and cleaned out.
Let's move on to something that is non-medical related, okay?
Okay. Danielle says vets force feed activated charcoal to dogs that eat toxic things. Actually, that's one of the primary things that it's used for is poison control.
Yeah.
They'll feed you activated charcoal because it's so absorbent.
Oh, it should take care of the McDonald's I ate then, right?
You didn't have McDonald's today.
I didn't, but that would have been nice.
No, but it's going to absorb all that broccoli juice you've been drinking.
Celery juice.
Whatever.
You're not listening. You're not
I
listening.
am. They're both green, and it's juice.
You're getting it wrong.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Them honey buns and Cheetos done caught up with it.
The Riot with Nikki.
Yeah, she's a liar, because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie, so...
The Riot, Radio U.
If you guys have noticed today, you're just like, man, something's different about the Riot, but I don't know what it is. It's activated charcoal.
Woo!
Nikki and I are cleansing right now. So pretty soon,
We're drinking it.
we could have to run out of the studio at any moment to be cleansed.
I hope that's not how that's going to happen.
Well, that's how it has to end, Nikki, is that once you cleanse, you've got to, once you clean, the dirty water has to come out.
I guess.
I mean, I don't hang on to my
Don't
dirty
focus
mop
on that
bucket.
part, though. Let's not focus and talk about that part.
Okay, fine.
But it is, what else did it say? It was supposed to help with teeth whitening. Mm-hmm. But no, it did sharp mind. Ooh.
See, those nasty comments I keep making? It's because my mind's gotten sharp.
Yeah, you're on it.
What do sharp things do?
Hurt.
They poke
They
you.
hurt
They
people.
hurt. So I'll just say right now, it's not my fault.
Now, I didn't know we could be like this lady, though. I didn't need to spend all this money on these juices.
This is where we're going, Nikki.
It's the next step.
This is the next step. There's a woman in China who decided, you know what, if fruit juice is good for you, why drink it? I'll just shoot it right into my arm.
She was trying to stay healthy, and she would inject the juice of 20 types of fruits into her body through an IV, which you are not supposed to or not allowed to do.
Yeah.
I would have never thought to try that.
You're allowed to do anything.
Yeah,
right?
but you're not supposed to, because then that's super hard on your body, because that's not where the juice is supposed to go in. Okay. Not allowed to.
I love that we're in a place where that's what we have to explain to people.
You have to tell people everything. So despite she felt itchy and had a rising temperature, she didn't do anything about it, but then she was very discomforted in discomfort after the infusion. So she had to go to the hospital where she was in the intensive care unit, and they told her that she had a severe infection because the juice was damaging her liver, her kidney, and heart.
Mm-hmm. And she was having multiple organ failure and sepsis. Sepsis, bad.
They had to use dialysis to clean her blood and give her antibiotics and stuff. And after 5 days, she had to move on to keep working on her kidney, but she did some major damage.
It's crazy.
I wonder how long she had been doing it, or was it just that one time?
I don't know, and it doesn't say.
Yeah.
But you have to wonder. And it is one of those things where, listen, guys, you also can't like mush up a banana and jam it down into. You can't take steak, put it in the blender, and then just put it in your blood. It's not the way it works. Digestion is a process, and it turns food into things your body can use, not just, hey, I'm going to put some orange juice in my blood.
She thought the fruit was all good, and so it wouldn't do any harm if she injected it into her body.
Fruit juice is good. Just drink it.
Well, yeah, but she thought it'd be even better, like more concentrated, just a more better shot of all that fruit has to offer us. She was wrong.
I don't know. You know what? I've encountered people, and I'm not going to name any names, but some of the things they've done in the name of health. Or like, well, I heard that blank, 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 and you're like, oh gosh, really?
No one was there to tell her no, and she did it.
Really? Like
now she's recovering.
You're doing this? This is a thing? So, in fairness, though, Nikki, failing is part of the learning process.
It is, and now others are learning from, unfortunately, her mistake.
She's learned a huge lesson, and now we can all learn from her lesson. So the next time, you grab that needle that you just have laying around and you
I wouldn't even feel comfortable putting in an IV by myself. Let alone with fruit juice in it.
Dude, I have to give blood tomorrow.
Oh, you do?
I'm going to be drinking like hundreds of ounces of water and praying to the good Lord they find a vein in my arm.
You just always have trouble with that.
The last thing I need is me digging around in my arm looking for a vein. Thanks.
I feel like you almost take one end of, the needle, put it in, the other end goes into like a Capri Sun or something and just hook that up like the IV.
It is a little bag.
It is. It works. But that would be even worse for you. Even worse.
I have something I want to say right now.
Was you not going to?
I choose not to.
Oh, you're passing. Pass.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the Radio U app.
So yesterday, the Stranger Things 3 trailer hit, but that was not the only piece of Stranger Things that was announced. Did you see that coming to the Nintendo Switch, Stranger Things 3, the game?
I did not know that there was 1 and 2 of the game. Mm-hmm. For the Switch, or was it just like a mobile game?
This says they did a mobile game, which I didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is coming, it looks to me as if, no, it's not exclusive. It's, okay, it's on the Switch and the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, but Nintendo was the one that made the announcement.
I see.
So that's why they're getting all the extra traction for it. So the game will have single player and co-op, and it gives the players the chance to explore the town of Hawkins for themselves.
Nice.
So it is a retro-styled game, so don't imagine something
too fancy
and enormously budgeted, but...
Which I think is very smart, which is why so many things are so popular being set in that time, because for us, then it never is, it doesn't get any dated beyond that point.
Right.
It's okay to look low budget. So for the game, it's okay it has that look.
And that, I mean, of course, it ties in with the retro vibes of Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it fits. I'm curious. I'll be curious to see how much they want and how it works.
With the Nintendo tax, man. It's hard. You got to pick your Nintendo game sparingly.
I don't buy anything on the Switch. Because I've got an Xbox, I've got a PlayStation, I've got a PC, and the Switch is great for travel, but you know what? When I travel, I drive. Mm-hmm. So I'm the one that ends up driving. There's no point in me buying something on the Switch.
Or you save it for something with Mario.
Yeah,
but
well,
outside
no.
of that,
like, that's different. Like,
if it's a game that's on other consoles, it's almost always cheaper on other consoles.
Yeah, no. When it comes to any kind of first-party Nintendo stuff, that's totally different. But the idea of like, hey, do you want to buy this on this or the Xbox? It's like, I'm probably going to.
So will the game be out at the same time as the new season? Or
according to this, it will be out on July 4th, which is the same day that Stranger Things 3 hits Netflix. So
Stranger Things 3, the game. And
they say the game will follow the plot of the show, but then it will flesh out the story a little bit more.
There are 2 types of people in this world, and neither one of them likes the riot. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, if I say Jeff Bezos...
Yeah, Amazon.
And then I say Bill Gates...
Microsoft.
What's the thing they have in common?
Billionaires. Lots of money.
You're close.
Well, trillionaires?
Centibillionaires.
Really? That's
they
how
are
much?
both the only two people in the world that are worth more than $100 billion.
Billion? Yeah, you're right. $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Gosh, I don't even.
Billion.
It's not even numbers we use.
No, you can't fathom like that. It would be. I don't think you could spend that money if you stop making money right now and begin spending it. I don't think you could spend that money.
Yeah, but how much cash? I mean, I'm sure it's wrapped up in stuff.
You're right. It's probably only $50 billion in liquid assets.
Like actual assets with that.
Okay, think about this for just a minute. Most of us, what are we driven by? Wants and needs, right? So we go to work because we have needs, and then sometimes we stay at work because we have wants. So it's like, I want a better car, or I want a new TV, or I want to take that vacation.
So what is it like when you don't have that drive?
What if I've removed that drive from you? You no longer need money at all, but instead you now choose what you want to do with your time. Now, you could argue that these guys, Jeff Bezos runs Amazon and has affairs, and then Bill Gates runs what?
Well, that is what he's known for currently. So.
And Bill Gates runs the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation or
he's
whatever.
A philanthropist.
Yes. And from the article I saw a couple weeks ago, eats burgers at Dick's in Seattle.
That's true. He's an everyday man.
He is. But you ask yourself, like, if I removed the things that drive almost every person you know.
Yeah.
The things that drive you, really, what gets you out of bed in the morning and gets you moving, either the fact that you need to make money or you're getting a degree so you can make money. And I take that away.
Anytime you talk to someone who's incredibly wealthy, they say, though, that, us that are not incredibly wealthy feel like it must be amazing, but they say there's so much pressure when you have that much because you have so many people relying on you and you have to maintain that level and how difficult it is. So I'm sure they were very, they always had that drive which got them there in the first place. So I don't think that just goes away because their main needs are met and they have many, many homes.
Yeah.
I just think it's a whole nother level of pressure that we probably don't experience.
They're invested in the world. So like Jeff Bezos, like, for example, like he does something he shouldn't do, stocks fall. That's people's money.
Yes. I don't know if he's as much of a philanthropist as like Bill and
Gates.
Yeah,
Sure,
like for him, that's what he's mostly known as. Like he still does a lot and he has a lot of people counting on him because he gives so much money. So I don't know about the two of them being compared.
Well, I just know they're both worth over $100 billion.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Okay, Nikki, I'm going to make you just a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've said this question before, but like, what are you doing today?
Today, I maybe would still do the show just to finish it up.
Oh yeah,
and I'd probably come in a few weeks.
Yeah,
but I'd take a while off.
I think it would be really awesome to just go to the airport.
Yeah,
and hand your keys to somebody and just be like, here, that you can have the car.
You go into the special airport,
and you just walk into the airport, and you're like, okay.
Where to?
What kind of flights? Okay, I'll fly to Chicago, and I'll be able to go anywhere from there.
Sure.
So that sounds pretty good.
Would be nice, but
I think I think I'd rather do though. I think I would rather go over to a car dealership
and buy a
car and just leave.
But let's think about this: what we have. Let's be responsible and good with what we have. Maybe one day then we'll be them like that.
What do you think, Nikki? Finish out the workday?
Yes, let's do that.
Instead of going out to eat, bag it?
Let's be responsible. I don't need to eat out today. It's fine. I'm on my way to being one of them.
Sure are, Nikki. You're gonna be $100 billionaire any minute now.
In no time.
Minute now.
No, I can't wait.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at radiou.com/donate.
I hope you die first.